Hi and welcome back to Slide Bites. Today we're going to do a quick intro because I'm trying to do we're going to do a little bit of a demo video on several different tunings from drop D all the way down to drop G. But I don't want this to run on too long if I talk on too much. So we're going to sample each of these guitars. Bear in mind, certain things will be different with them. Obviously, there are going to be different types of guitars, different tunings, different string gauges, and things like that. So just bear that in mind. And I'm not the world's greatest guitar player by any means, so forgive me if things sound a little different between. I'll do my best to keep everything the same riff, same everything. We're going to do on the bridge pickup on each guitar. We're going to do a little bit of a clean, and then we're going to switch into the Bad Monkey from Digitech, and that's giving a boost into the Behringer Ultra Metal, and that is running into the Acoustic Lead Series G120 DSP. Bear in mind, some of these guitars have come back and forth from up and down different rooms, downstairs, different temperatures and everything. So things may not be perfectly staying in tune. I'm trying my best, but I'm surrounded by guitars here, and I'm going to do everything I can to keep this pretty well spot on for you. So just bear with me, forgive the imperfections, but this will give you a little bit of a taste and an idea of what different tunings sound like from drop D all the way down to drop G, and kind of give you an idea of why I have different guitars and all that. Bear also in mind that my guitars double drop D and open D minor will not be featured because we're just sticking with just the most basic drop tunings. So here we go. We're going to start with the Squier Bullet Stratocaster in drop D. All right, moving on real quickly here. Okay, to my Epiphone Les Paul Special. Had this guitar for quite a long time. You've seen it in another review video if you stuck with this channel for very long and seen that. Okay, here we go. Alright, I fought this guitar the entire time I've been trying to make this video. For some reason, it does not like trying to stay in tune. It usually lives upstairs though, so that might be a part of it. Okay, that was in drop C sharp or drop D flat. So C sharp, drop D flat, either way. Okay, moving on to the Jackson King V, the Jackson JS32 King V in drop C. All right. That is a hot guitar right there. Whew. All right, moving on yet again to my Dean Evo XM in drop B. Now this is a cool guitar. I actually been using it in drop A, but I decided for scale length issues and because I'm having some issues with my Ibanez and drop tunings lately, the bridge, which had been stable, I changed strings and it has just fought me to no end, so I actually have been keeping it in drop A now and using this one in drop B. This is a great guitar. There will be a review on this one coming up eventually. Okay, here we go. That's a nice guitar. I really like that guitar a lot. Alright, so that was drop B. Now we're going to step it down just a little bit further and go to one of my absolute favorite guitars I've ever owned and played, the PRS SE Soapbar II in drop B flat. Alright. P90s, you just gotta love P90s. Alright. So, moving on, yet again. Now we're going to double check this one's tuning before I start here because it has fought me the entire time. And hopefully she will stay steady this time. So, we are going to go to the Ibanez Rg120 and drop A. Double check it real quick on the tuner. This is one of those things with trim systems on a lot of electric guitars, especially if you're going to get into drop tunings like I do. You're going to learn real fast that they just don't like, especially just trim systems do not like a lot of heavy drop tuning. All right. Here we go. I love Ibanez. They can do everything. Just bear in mind, again, with trim systems, I got the way we were out though. You've got to work harder to keep them in tune with drop tunings this extreme. This is in drop A right now. Okay, so now we're gonna go the deepest tuning we've got available right now. This is the Jackson JS22-7 Dinky Archtop in drop G. With these are Ernie ball power syntheses, so not a wound G, which I wish it was available, but I'm just using what I can find. Double check my tuning real quick. A little flat, but not too bad. All right. gotta fight myself not to get carried away. If you watch the review video on this, you know it had some issues. But man, I love that guitar. Okay, all right. So let's go ahead and take a seat here, and let's get into what I am doing and how I am doing it and why I am doing it with drop tunings. All right. So let's go ahead and take a seat here. I will grab a guitar to talk about a few things and demonstrate a few things here. So, one of the things that I get asked a lot is, why do I own so many guitars? And there is a really simple explanation to that. Drop tunings. Turn my volume down there. I use a lot of drop tunings for a lot of different styles of music because that's what I like to play. I like the deeper, darker sound. Baritone guitars are really coming into vogue right now, and I really want to pick one up. I do have the 7-string, and you can see just how deep and how dark and how rich that sound can get, especially distorted. And these things rock with distortion. We are using from everything starting at the Dean, which is in drop B, down, excluding 7-string. So the Dean in drop B, the Ibanez in drop A, the PRS in drop B flat, we are using, or A sharp, we are using Ernie Ball Mammoth Slinkies. Now this is a really heavy gauge set of strings. We're looking at 12, 16, a 24, which is a wound G, 34, 48, and a 62. A 62. I mean, those are some heavy strings right there. Now you might think that those are hard to bend, but give myself some volume here. Let you see. I don't really have much trouble with the bending on them. A lot of people say they do. I don't really see it as an issue. One thing, again, fixed bridges are awesome for heavy gauge strings and drop tunings. Trim systems are a lot more problematic. My flying V handles drop C just fine, but I would never, honestly, in my opinion, for anything I'm ever going to do, I would never drop below drop C with a trim system. The only reason I'm doing that with the Ibanez is because it has a longer scale length than the Dean that I have been using drop A, and so far it's still not really working out that great because of the trim system. I'm probably going to end up blocking it off. Not a huge deal because I don't really use whammy a lot, but I do like it on the Jackson and on some Squier or Fender models. I like having a little bit, but those are tunings from drop C up. Now, people who say, "Oh gosh, you use drop D, that's for the heavy stuff." Now you can clearly hear a major difference as you from drop D to drop G. To me, drop D is not heavy. Drop D is not. You can play heavy music with it. Don't get me wrong. But if you're really getting into the deep, dark depths of metal music, drop D is not that extreme. Now, I understand Lamb of God uses a lot of drop D, and they do their thing just fine. It's great. They make that tuning really stand out. I know Ola England's been using a lot of drop D too, and that's again, that's fine. I think most of his recording has been in C standard or B standard, something like that. But anyway, not to get off topic here. The thing is, the further down you go, you unlock a lot more tonality and a lot more versatility in a lot of these darker genres. Drop D is only going to get you so far into heavy metal before you start realizing, okay, these bands are really getting even deeper and darker than what I am used to. You know, I got into a lot of this from Breaking Benjamin and Chevelle and 3 Days Grace and different bands like that. And then I went into things like Korn and other bands and Slipknot, especially with drop B and drop A. It's one of those things where if you're going to get into metal, drop tunes are just going to be there, and you can either learn to play in drop D and just deal with it, and sounding a little different, a little brighter, or do what I did and just buy a bunch of different guitars, switch to different tunings, get them all set up in different ways, and if you want to play that tune, you just grab that guitar. Now, not all these will sound that great, clean, without any other effects or anything, and I understand that, and bear with me on that. Again, I am doing my best with what I've got with a short amount of time here, so this video doesn't become massive. But, you know, tunings, when you can get some really awesome ambience and some really great atmospheric tones on drop tuned guitars with heavy gauge strings, it sounds beautiful in my opinion, almost piano-like. And I couldn't really demonstrate that well with such a you know, just jumping guitar. But sometime I would really like to dig into that some more. So yeah, that was just a quick overlook on some drop tunings. Again, really pay attention to your guitar, watch your truss rod and your adjustments, and be very careful to have it professionally set up if need be. Again, I have training in a lot of different things with guitars. I've been doing this for a long time. I was taught by a guy who really knew what he was doing on how to set up guitars, and he taught me that, and I don't recommend you trying to do a lot of this on your own. Try to take it to someone who knows more than you if you're not competent in what you're doing with it. You don't want to break your truss rod or damage your neck or anything like that, or your bridge. It's just a pain, and you might ruin your guitar. So anyway, guys, that was just again, a quick overlook at drop D all the way down to drop G. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you like more stuff, like this, and want to see more stuff like this, leave me a comment. If you have other ideas for videos, also give me a comment. I appreciate everyone who keeps coming back to watch these. Thanks again. I will see you in the next video. Bye.